The Therapist and the Coach podcast is a space for real relational conversations about what it means to be human.
In a world obsessed with fixing, achieving, and self help, we invite you to pause, lean in, and discover the wisdom already inside.
Together, we explore how healing, growth, and transformation can happen not in isolation, but in connection.
Through open hearted dialogue, we challenge the myth of self regulation and self improvement, offering instead co regulation, psychological safety, and the power of being seen.
Just keep talking.
Yeah, and what I was just saying is that people are just tired of constantly paying for very expensive courses that teach them another way how to be a better coach, which they already probably heard it in a different way. And it really doesn't address the hardship that they're going through to maintain relationship with somebody that they try to help. And so a lot comes in, but not of really what we need. We sometimes just need to talk about things of what it was to be with this client, with that client. Not because of hatred, but because of like, it's difficult what we're doing. And there's very little stage for people to show up and just talk about what it is to be them at that point of time. And also places they're triggered, from we're triggered from different things. We have counter transference, meaning that somebody else's issues are falling into us. It's something triggers that. Sometimes you feel like angry with the client, or you feel like scared they're going to leave me, or different things. That's a thing that we all in the profession experience that. Oh my God, I need to not piss them off, and they're so short, and they demand some answers, and you start freaking out inside because you might be dependent on them too for that reason or another. All of those that we're going through in every session and everything that we try to help, yet meet many times people that come from different places with difficulties, just like being a parent, for God's sake. You have a couple of kids, all of them have different needs. You might know what to do, but it's just so difficult. At some point, you're just exhausted. So imagine that you have a place for the parent to go and just get some help from other parents or from somebody that helps with parenting, not by telling you what to do, but give them a place, a stage to rejuvenate, to calm, to restore, to understand their own issues so they can actually won't be triggered by their kids, so to speak. And that's something that is missing, that plays that kind of experiential thing for what it is to be us as professionals and to go to actually understand, as you said so many times, I want people to continue growth as human beings so they can keep offering, because if you don't grow, then you can't offer more of what you can offer yourself, and so many times you can't because nobody helped you. So it's really important, I think, people understand that the investment in you, in us, and I'm not talking only about knowledge. Knowledge is one thing, it brings the anxiety down for a little bit, but what you carry with you from throughout the years, and if it's still there, and it's probably there in so many ways, it doesn't go anywhere other unless we are start talking about what it is to be us, what it is to be you specifically. Where does things trigger you so you can get other people in the group or a professional, somebody that actually can be with you and listen, to comfort you, to be by your side, to be by your side, you know, to give you not only the safety, the support,
Mhm.
so you can be okay, to help them, to keep helping them.
Well,
And this,
and to stay in that space, talking about case studies, I've got a client in another part of the world who hired me for work in his business. And his business is a consulting business. It's not a coaching business. It's a business turnaround business. And to use your words, if I stay by staying by his side and also staying with him and not trying to fix or force him a solution, has stayed in this discomfort of continuing to bump into this wall of psychological defense mechanisms and all this other stuff that you might be able to see through more readily as a trauma um, therapist. But as a coach, I just held space for him and stayed with him and encouraged, not inauthentically encouraged, but encouraged the moment to actually just, okay, you'll everything has its own time. When you're ready, you will move, and you might move in a way that you don't even know that you're moving forward.
Yes,
And
so
so
true,
he
Lorraine.
circled back with this long audio message from the other side of the world telling me that he knew there was something important in what I said, but he didn't understand. So a seed was planted in him that allowed him to calm down in the experience and the frustration of not knowing what to do and the discomfort of just sitting in the discomfort. And what he was doing in the background that was he actually reached out to his adult son and had asked his adult son to meet him in therapy. So because what he and I didn't talk about, what he started to realize through journaling, through walking, which was something that was what are the things you can do while you're in this stuck place? And he said, well, I can walk, I can move my body. I can't move my business, but I can move my body. I'm like, okay, move your body. So what he's realized in this last, he said that his son finally, I guess 3 months ago, decided to join him, was ready to join him in therapy, and they're starting to get into the stuff. And he recognized he had this intuitive hit and this psychological connection that this was what needed to heal before he can move his business forward, which is what we've been talking
Exactly,
about this morning.
exactly,
And
exactly.
he, like, wouldn't it be amazing if he had a place to go to have those conversations? Because it wasn't appropriate in the coaching space because he's got a particular goal, and it's not my job from the way I view coaching to determine his path. That's his. So to use your words, simply being by his side. And that's what he acknowledged. He's like, you stayed with me in the frustration. You continue
Yes,
to see me. You continue to believe in me. You continue to, and I've never said the words, I believe in you. That's an interpretation
yes.
of
But you
being by
stayed,
his
you
side
gave him the respect to stay with him rather to get it away from
and
the
didn't get
situation.
frustrated when he was frustrated. I'm like, hey, everything's got its own time.
Exactly.
And he was able to calm. So he didn't move forward because somebody gave him the next best habit or strategic advantage. He's moving for and guess what's happening in his business organically?
Exactly.
3 new clients.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's so then the universe can start where like the energy
You
field
have
is
way more
shifting
capacity. You have more capacity.
so you can receive more. So the
Oh yeah.
so so it's really quite amazing. So
You
he
really
said,
become a different language at that point. I mean,
yes,
imagine that you just want to really, really know what to do, but you're terrified inside.
yes,
Terrified. There is
yes,
no way that you're gonna get anything as much as important it is. So first, we need to get to a place when you're not scared for no matter what reason in order
yes.
to get this. And so it's all interconnected with understanding is one thing, and the more we are, as you mentioned, the ambiguity that people have a hard time to be in not knowing. I think this is one of the hardest thing for
Oh,
professions in
to
any
be
profession.
uncomfortable. There's
Yeah,
no permission to be
yeah,
uncomfortable or not know, or it's unsafe,
yeah.
especially in a world where things are moving so fast and you go online and you see how it seems like everybody has the has it all together.
Right.
And
Which
which
is
isn't
a
real,
complete
which is
mirage.
but yeah, exactly. It's a total facade.
It's a
And
total facade.
so we interpret, I'm going to say maybe psychologically, maybe not everybody does, but there's a propensity to internalize that as I'm broken, there's something wrong. I'm not on the bus. I'm not
Exactly. Exactly.
flourishing. There's something wrong
Exactly.
with me, which feeds that imposter syndrome, blah, 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 blah. And it feeds the stuck. So you and I have been so I really want to acknowledge that we're actually living the very thing that we're coming to create, because you and I knew that talking to one another was important and staying in relationship and continue talking. And this morning we met something that could have been a relationship disconnect and came together from a place of not necessarily even repair, but just like, oh, like a desire to, like, hey, what is this thing? Like there's a,
Clarify, just clarify things
yeah,
that was in.
clarify, there's this
Yeah, yeah,
thing. Is there
yeah.
anything we need to talk about? Is there any like issue here that might grow? Is there,
Right.
and then in talking about that and listening to one another, we discover, oh no, we're still saying the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
We're just, we're, there's no,
Yes.
and now you so beautifully clarified, and through just the sharing that we've done, another idea or opportunity has emerged that's around another intention that you and I share, and that is to create a space for people to come and their nervous systems to co-regulate and be calm and to grow as healers and helpers and people, because and to talk about these cases, everything that you just described, that emerged. It's not something that was forced, and
No.
we'll try it, and it may or may not work. We think, like, I feel like this idea of bringing people together for this purpose, for them, not for continuing education, not for but for them,
Exactly. Exactly.
it is really a net, because we've invited people to join this podcast, just jump in and be part of the conversation, and that didn't work, but we've had these ideas on the way, so this is our next, the next thing that's emerged around that, which
I
I'm
think that
quite
that is
excited.
very different than what we talked about before we opened up the microphone. Is that how many of us are then again holding so much want to help others? It's not easy. We're going through a lot with clients, with ourselves, with our histories that come to the present, and we need to hold a lot of people. So getting information about how to do coaching or therapy is just the beginning. It's just a necessary, maybe just to kind of get some left brain understanding.
Well, and some social acceptance and
Yes.
understanding. If
Yes.
you, it's as though if a governing body doesn't say give you a credential, you're not a credible human being. And I
Right.
don't believe that, but that is
Mm.
the way society is structured. So I'm
Right.
sorry to interrupt, but
No, no, no. It's very true. And at the same time, the most important is how much we're going through alone with things that we don't know what to do, how to be, to get support for ourselves, to basically recharge the batteries and to actually go through issues that we have with our clients or that in a space where we can actually support each other. So we're not talking really about relationship. We are providing a space, safe space for all of us to be with what we're going through
yeah.
as a result of also what we're doing. So in and that's really the most important thing because you can know we can learn more and more and be completely depleted inside or scared or fed up or confused and you don't know where to share that. So then really actually giving that fuel from each and one of us together is really like the pillars from which everything else built on. And so I was thinking about walking the talk of what when we talk about relationship, we can talk about relationship, but actually providing for people that are in our profession that knows what it is to hold other people and to give from themselves and holding others and to do the things that we're talking about. We actually need to provide that space that when they come away from that, they go out, they're charged with support, with love and kindness from all of us, from support each other so we can support somebody else. It's like a single mom versus a mom that has a husband that can help her. It can help her.
But it's also, you can't give to others what you don't have yourself. And
Right.
and I think, how one of the things that we were also talking about, just to, is when to refer. Like you were supporting me in a space where that was a question of just in a case that I was thinking about that, you know and that's gotten lost. Like that used to be a big part of coach training, is that conversation. Like when do you refer your client to a consultant? When do you refer
A
them?
very, very
When,
important
like,
topic.
what are the distinctions between all those different roles, the therapist, and what's the
Right.
difference between a psychiatrist and when do you refer to a doctor or like those conversations, because we're not meant to be everything to everybody. There are
No,
different skill sets, and
absolutely.
understanding that, because one of the bottom lines that you and I are talking about relationally is their ability to self leadership, co-regulate, manage our own selves in is a very important responsible aspect of, and it makes us more available to our clients so that they can co-regulate with us, and that's really the essence of where transformation happens. So we agree about that. Well, we agree about a lot, but that is a place that you and I share as far as our methodologies. So if I don't recognize or don't know how to recognize, um, I could find myself in a place that feels deep or feel I could be triggered by, I could be like, if I don't recognize that aspect or understand that aspect or have experienced, even have it modeled, because I'll tell you, and I did earlier, that I'm aghast at the fact that coaches are getting through their coach education now without ever being coached by a certified coach, like an actually high level trained, experienced coach. They're getting all of their coaching hours peer to peer, like they're coaching each other and getting their experience hours without really having to go outside their own comfort zone and coach actual clients. So they're not being coached themselves. So they're not having that experience. So how they can, so they've got training, but that's just one level of it. And so, I have no idea what's happening in the therapy world around that, but I can just see what's happening and everything's moving so fast.
Yeah. And we need to slow down.
And,
And
and
we
we need to
really,
slow
really need
down
to slow
and
down.
remember ourselves and feed ourselves,
Yes.
and there's
Yes.
really no space for that. And
Yes.
uh
Yes.
and I'm going to admit that I'm just starting to get back to that myself after,
Yeah.
years of crisis, but I have my own flavor of that, but so does everybody else.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so yes, there's coaching supervision, which is a space for this. And the benefit to being with a coach supervisor is that it's all aligned with the International Coaching Federation and credentials, and you can get continuing education credits and all the rest of it. I I don't know why, but that doesn't feel important to me. I would rather just be with you and a group of people who are interested in what we have to the space that, or feel called to the space, and have that be the purpose, not to for continue, but to really truly just be there to fill our own buckets,
Yeah,
to
and be
to
there for the people that we ask to help others, to be
yeah,
there for the
to
other
support
coaches that,
them,
yeah,
be
it's
more
like,
responsible.
yeah, yeah, I'm thinking that it's like everything goes so fast, and because we're in a crisis, the world and in the coaching profession, in so many other areas, there's some crisis. We tend then again to do what we are familiar is to try to get more information and to do more rather than actually just, my goodness, let's just slow down and have a place where we can actually. I tell my clients so many times, it's like, oh, I don't know what I would be talking about today. It's like, just
That's
come
okay.
spend the time with me. That's it. Let's just be together.
And there's this beautiful thing that we miss too, is the collective wisdom. Like there is so much wisdom in the room and we learn so much. Our capacity, okay, brain science guy, quantum physics guy, we have so much capacity to take in and integrate information from different sources. And if we don't have to be the source of it all, we can actually just sit in a room. And this is the magic. This is the magic of co-regulation and human connection for me, is a group of strangers can come together. So here's what happened last night. I've started, because I have more space and time in my business, more clarity and intention. I've restarted. I don't know if that's a word, but the soul designs dial-in sessions. These are free 1 hour monthly sessions that I just share soul design topics and concepts. So I don't teach, like I put a little bit of information in the room, and then it's all about like what called you here. Like you're here for a reason. You signed up for this and you came. It's free. Some people sign up and they never come, but something brought you here. What was it? And the conversation takes on its own shape and
Oh
energy
yeah,
and form, and people leave so fulfilled and amazed by they don't feel so alone. Like, how is it that this group of complete
exactly.
strangers from across the globe, different cultures, can meet around a certain topic they felt called to and
Mhm.
leave feeling fulfilled? Some cried, some laughed, some sat silently and just received, which is beautiful too. And some shared in the chat, some shared vocally. It was all about choice. And and to me that's magical.
Magical, and it's necessary. It's really necessary. It's so many times we think that we need to get better, better psychologist, better coach, better
Mm,
this by getting more information, but know how to do this and how to deal with that. Where
mm,
actually it's much simpler. It's the more you're connected
mm,
to your essence inside and calm down and
mm,
getting supported and let yourself be human.
mm.
We are human coaches and
Thank
therapists,
you.
whoever it is, we're just retitled. And then the answers for you as a coach or as a therapist are not going to come. I'm just you just as you said, like with your heart in your belly and your heart in here, it's you coming from your heart, and your heart is wisdom too. It's not necessarily knowledge. And wisdom is so many times really just to feel and see another person, regardless how you're geared in your profession, what to do. And then if they feel, if the just like your client said, like, oh, that's what I needed. The
And
whole
then,
conversation shifted to something else, but that's what he really needed. He didn't even know.
but then the
Just,
business took off,
yeah. And then
right?
your business will take off.
That's the
And that's what I'm
magic.
saying. I'm saying to people, because so many people think that they're going to be more successful. They want to be because that's how they know to be okay in the world. I personally, at point where I don't care about materialism, I know that it doesn't bring. I mean, I know from experience right now, I'm done with this, but I understand them because they don't have any replacement. So I tell them, I don't care how much money you do. I just want you to be okay. But I know that you care about the money. So I want to tell you something. I usually tell them, or in order to make more money easily, you want to be successful. Let's say we go with that's how you're going to
Yeah.
be happy. This is the method to go, because if you don't really calm and okay yourself, your business is going to be as narrow as how you
Yeah.
feel inside.
Yeah. Your business can only be as successful as your capacity and your,
Not your wishful thinking, it's how
yes,
you
will
really are.
allow it,
Yeah,
because that's who you are.
is
It's those
that's how much you can offer, not much you
that
want to.
that's
That
right.
yes.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh my gosh.
No.
I adore you.
Oh, really.
No matter where we start, and I know both of us, like, I really also appreciate, because we talked about maybe recording that part of the conversation, like the first part, but I really appreciate that we gave that to ourselves too, because we jumped on with the intention of recording, and then we started in that conversation just because we always start with a check-in, and that I really, really appreciate that because we give that to ourselves. And that's a co-regulation habit that I think just started
It
organically.
exactly is. I mean, think about right now how you and I feel, because I think we really feel good.
Really good.
We just talked about something that might be we need to clarify. We need that, and that's not a problem at all. It's just like we aligned with kindness. Anything that we right now talk about, we feel good right now.
Yes.
It's not hard to just do anything right now
It
because we're together.
feels,
Because we're really together, and
yes, and it
it's
feels so aligned, but that's also if I think about where our ideas have emerged or our creativity or this other intention that we're holding together, which is how will we bring people together? It's always been part of our conversation. It's a desire. It's for me, it's like it's a like I feel compelled. And yet I need to temper that feeling of compulsion because that's mine and I own that with our process. And we keep putting things out there. We see what lands, Um, and I
So
love
that's all it
being
is. And we're not dependent on the results. It's important
no,
to
but
everyone
we're
to know.
living
Yeah.
the very thing that we're talking about today. We are
Yes.
living, and we'll
And that's
just
the
keep
importance. Yeah. And that's the importance of our conversation. We're not coming here to
be
create
experts.
to yeah we're not coming here to also make money from all of it. It's just like really you have we have our businesses that are successful and all of that. It's all good. We're coming to really I think from I talk to me for myself, but I know it's true to you, from our conviction how we can, from our experience and knowledge of your years as people also,
Mm.
what it really how we can really help others, to other coaches, other therapists, other helping professions, to actually nourish themselves so they can actually nourish others, and to come from a place of ease and kind and
Oh,
love.
ease, which is
And
where
that's
impact. We've
and
described how
that's the
that
most impact. That's mostly of what people need, rather than have another
you
twist of the same thing.
and
And
don't
they
have to force it and don't have to go take another course and don't have
no,
to get the
no,
next certification and
no,
don't have to blah 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 blah
no. We
feed
just want to
all that.
hear you. We just want to really truly hear you and get others to hear yourself and hear others, and then you create community of support,
Yeah.
non-verbal even, that stays with you, that when you go to work and deal with craziness, not necessarily crazy that, but a lot, that you can hold that. Somebody's holding you so you can hold others. Without that, you'll be miserable, the people are going to be miserable, your business is going to be miserable.
And maybe not entirely miserable, but limited
Very limited.
capacity, limited
Very limited.
ability to manifest and or create and give
Yeah,
and and actually I think at the very basic level be authentic and honest. So I as we wrap here, I also want to say um that I listen to people all day long. And I love that part of my business. I love holding space for people, and I will continue to do that. And I really appreciate what our relationship has brought to my life. And that's a place to talk about things that really are at the heart. The heart is a big part of my design and my logo and where I come from and where I meet the world. Um, but to be able to have a space to be expressed.
exactly.
So the very thing that I'm feeling here with you, which we'll maintain and protect,
Yeah,
no matter what we do, um, I guess what we're talking about is just finding another way to potentially hold that space and create that space for others to be fully expressed and to hold,
exactly.
and yes, perhaps another place to listen, maybe even educate where it's suitable, but that's not the purpose. The purpose is to just meet people where they're at.
Be together and support each
Yeah.
other and let each
Yeah.
other as a place to just let that air out and give some good air in.
And get some,
And
yeah.
and it's to the heart. The heart is the most matter.
Mm,
All the answers are in the heart,
mm,
not in the
mm,
left brain.
mm,
Even though we think that we need to learn, yeah, it's less important. It's just really being together.
mm,
All of the people that probably know and I know, going through a lot every day. It's not easy. It's not easy to be in this in helping others, even though sometimes you really want. It's a lot. It's tiring. It's not hard in terms of like I have a lot of compassion to most people, really. But as you said, like I'm listening to all people and I'm saying like that's also tiring. As much
mhm,
as we want to, as much as we have our kids that we want to listen to them, sometimes we're tired, we want to go to sleep. And in order to really listen to them, we need to sleep. So
mhm,
it's the providing people that really love kindness, support, professional support, any kind of support in a way that you can actually express yourself and be, and within not much time and space.
mhm.
Now you can go. Now you can go
Yeah,
to school. Now you can go to work. Now you can go helping others because you feel supported enough
and nourished.
and
Yes, yes, that
nourished.
word again.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, Oren,
Really?
What a beautiful hour and a half spent with you. I know we've only recorded a,
Yes.
portion of this, but I think that's also, we're at our 30-minute time, I think.
And we have other things that we talked about that we couldn't put it in here today, but it's all related and we will
It's
talk about
all related. I mean, it's all, and we started recording when it was important to,
it. Right.
when we move beyond
I
the
think I think Lerae, we said about the something that is interesting in the coaching, but it's also in psychology when to refer, because within the psychology also that people are having specialties that, let's say they do cognitive behavior and there's somebody have really internal issues and it doesn't work, they should refer to other
Yeah.
psychologists. So within our areas we need to understand and talk about when to refer based on who you are and your specialties. But that's something that we can talk
Well,
about next
and
time.
it's interesting. I can't tell you how many clients I have come to me because they're ready to move forward and they're limited in their counseling relationship
Yeah.
because it's the same. They're like, no,
Yes.
I'm done with that for a time. They might return to that counselor. I've come and gone from coaches, and taken time and done some therapy. So yeah, that would be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, we will
To
tackle that at some point.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, you're a pleasure. Thank you.
Same here. Happy day and calm day to everyone.
Thank you.